Alright, good morning coders. Alright, so on Friday I kind of gave you a preview of what we did, of kind of like the basics of what I wanted you guys to get familiarized with. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of show you again just some of the basics and some of the tabs that I find to be really important. So I've already logged in, and every time you log in you want to go to My Stuff, and you're going to click on your animation. If you haven't started one, you would click Create. In this case, I'm going to click on Sample Animation. And this is what I have so far. It's not much, but I'm going to just click my little green button.
When your cat hears the sound of a can of tuna being opened.
Okay, so super basic. I just want you guys to get really familiar with how to make something. Very basic. So I'm going to just walk you through some of these tabs that I find important and that I want you guys to get familiarized with. You're not going to use all of them yet. A lot of them can get very complex. So we're going to just start with the basics. The first one is very important. It's your event blocks or your event kind of tags. And if you notice, it says when green flag clicked, and you're probably wondering, well, where's that green flag? It's up here. It's basically a way to start your game or to start your animation. It's your play button. But you don't have to use that one. You could also use one space key pressed, or if you click on your drop down menu and you want to choose a different one, you can totally do it. You can choose a letter or an arrow. You can also have it your game start, your animation start by having your sprite, clicking on one of your sprites. And if you notice, I have tons of sprites down here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 sprites, and I have one that's hiding. So it just depends on what you want to start with. So that's an example of some of the event blocks that you could use. If you notice, my second one is play sound recording. I find this to be a lot of fun because they give you like an introductory sound, but you can do your own recording if you press. You can choose sound from library. They have a few, or you can record. Or if you have an MP3, a song on your computer that you want to bring and just upload it, we can do that too. But basically, you can record anything you want, and also you could record like backdrop music, like I did. I just randomly chose the song because I know some of you guys are Taylor Swift fans, and I would choose instrumental. You don't want lyrics over your song, unless it's like, you're making like a little music video. That's fine as long as it's appropriate. So I'm gonna go back here, and then I go back to my scripts. Now, you can choose backdrops. I uploaded a backdrop from the internet. I saved it. I thought this would be cute. Some of the backdrops that they have, the backgrounds are very limited, so I recommend you choosing your own and finding one that you like. Other things, costumes. So if you notice, when I click the green button,
when your cat hears the sound of a can of tuna being opened,
you're going to notice that he's moving back and forth. It's a repetitive movement, and I've chosen a costume for it. So it's not like him on his belly is not a separate sprite. It's actually, I just uploaded it as a costume. So I have these two so that when it goes back and forth, which I've told my program to do, I've coded it that way, and you can see what I'm talking about. So when you start, you have him on his feet, and then I click next costume, and I've actually added where it says looks, I've added where it says say yum tuna, or you can say anything you want. You can write anything in there, and so it's a repetitive movement. And I have it here until it says repeat until touching table, or you can even have it as forever, and it'll be a repetitive movement if you want to have some type of dancing for your character. And you can also click on control, because if I made this like 3 seconds, it would take forever for the cat to flip over. So I chose 1.5 seconds. So you can definitely play around with that. During the actual animation, if I press play again,
when your cat hears the sound of a can of tuna being opened,
when space key pressed. So if I press my space bar, something happens. It changes, and I'm still working.
When your cat hears the sound,
I'm still working on that part. So, and also you can hide sprites. I don't want the sprite in the beginning, so I I can, don't delete him, but you can totally hide it. If you notice, I've added hide there to the fridge because I'm still working on switching it to a different backdrop. So those are some, just some bits and pieces that you can use today. And like I said, I don't want you using operators and sensing just yet, or more blocks. We're not there yet. We're just going to get acclimated. And one more thing, because I was trying to show you guys, you know what, I think I'm going to choose a harder one. Let's say I wanted to use this character. I copy image, I go back to my PowerPoint, and I use my shortcut Control-V. I don't want all of it, so I'm actually going to double click on it. When you double click on the picture, this should pop up. It says remove background. If it doesn't happen, then you need to pick a different picture. Or if your picture doesn't even pop up, the picture is protected. So I would just choose a different one. Now, this is actually kind of worked out perfectly. But wait a minute. If I click keep changes, it takes off some of the things. So I'm going to click undo. So I'm going to click remove background. And I actually want her to keep her sweater, so I'm going to click mark areas to keep, and I just do like a little line or some dots so I know that the white part is kept. And maybe I wanted to keep this too, who knows, and maybe I want to get rid of that. You could do that. So this is just an example. Then you keep changes. Let's say I wanted her somewhere in the picture or somewhere in my animation. I save her. So I want to make sure I save it to the desktop, just because it's easily accessible. I can just change it to girl, I save it. Now it's going to be saved as a picture. My computer's freezing up. Okay, so if I go back, to my scratch, maybe I want her somewhere here. I can click upload sprite and just look for her. You know she's titled girl because I just titled her. And so then, I don't know, maybe she's kind of random, but that's just an example so that you know how to kind of Photoshop any of the characters that you would like. Say hi, Miss Alvarez.
Oh, hi.